I am Carrie, and my fun fact is, oh no, I used to play sports. I was a sports person in junior high. I'm very short. I am, how tall am I? 5'1"? I think I'm 5'1". Very short, but I was a starter in basketball, uh, both years that I played. So I
My
was
whole world just shifted. You
yeah.
have tall energy.
What?
hmm
My whole world just shifted.
So, hi, my name is VJ. Fun fact about me is I can speak a little German.
Hi, I'm Bob, Bob McDonald. I am playing Thunk today, and the fun fact that I have, I don't know if I have any more fun facts in me. If I were to get hit in my left eye, I'd be legally blind.
Hi, everybody. I'm Liz. You've seen me here a bunch. My pronouns are she, they. I'm going to be playing Thistle today. And my fun fact, I was struggling to think of one, but then I looked a little to my left. I got to go to Comic Con, New York Comic Con, and I defeated Robbie Damon, who you may know as Dorian Storm on Critical Role, and an amazing voice actor and a bunch of different stuff, including, I think, Jujutsu Kaisen is what he's most known for, possibly. I defeated him in Rollies, and he declared me his arch nemesis. And the next time I see him at a con, I'm legally required to duel him. These were his words.
That is amazing.
I have my Dorian print a little bit behind me that he signed for me.
That is fantastic.
Thank
You win.
you.
You win the fun facts.
Yeah, that wins.
You
Hands
know,
down.
it took me a while to get here. All of my other facts were not very fun, but I'm glad.
Our scene opens in the country of Falmount. The coronation ceremony was attacked, the castle was breached, and an ancient red dragon was released in the dungeons deep below the castle itself. The new king, by the name of Carlisle, sent word to you immediately, and you came as quickly as you could. He had told you, upon your arrival, some of the world's greatest warriors are being sent down below into the dungeons of the castle, trying to stop this. But I need you here in case they fail. I need you here in case it gets out. The Red Hunt sits and awaits the dreaded escape. The name of this dragon. Most people that speak common butcher the real name. So really it's just been known as the Crimson Terror. Not an exact translation, and you imagine a little exaggerated, a little stretched, a little making it sound worse than it is. Probably. It's just a dragon, right? The Red Hunt was formed because of this dragon, and because of the terror that he reigned over countless villages and cities before he could be stopped. Too powerful to kill. But these rangers in the Red Hunt, they have trained and specialized in dragons, and they are as ready as they're ever going to be to fight it, should it breach this castle's dungeons. Let's introduce our audience to these particular members of the Red Hunt. Go ahead and introduce your character. You can say their name, tell us what they look like, and tell us, what do we see on them? What weapons do they have with them? What armor are they wearing? Anything that an onlooker would be able to see. Who would like to go first?
So, you see Gretel Gallowglass, and she has the brightest, thickest red hair that you've ever seen. It is completely wild and tangled. It hasn't seen a brush in years. There might be a bird's nest in there, you think maybe. She's short and squat, not unlike a frog, but she doesn't let that stop her. She's covered in this like layer of grime and just like woodland filth, which kind of befits her preference for the swamps and bogs over people. And she's got a longbow on her back, a couple of short swords, leather armor. She looks like she spends most of her time in the woods. And your impression of her is that she might have been raised by wolves.
You see a medium-sized rabbit folk sort of laying on his back, sort of relaxing with his longbow to the side. He isn't quite sure what they're supposed to be doing, but he's gonna take the time while they're waiting just to relax and get into the mindset of the hunt. Um, he also has some short swords and some light armor on. Uh, and he's thumbing his way through a book, but we don't know. He's having a hard time sounding out the words because he's not very bright, and he's just sort of trying to sound out the words and read up. Uh, it could be a book that says like dragon slaying for dummies or something like that, because he's not quite sure how this is going to go.
Right. So you see Thistle, who is tall, but everything about Thistle, I think, is in comparison to her sister. So she doesn't really know how to think about herself on her own terms. She's tall, but not as tall as her sister. She has light green hair that's kept in very neatly kept immaculate braids that drift down her back, and between some of them, like little sprouts of like baby's breath or oleander will appear, and then she'll like disgusted will like pick them out and let them fall to the ground, and then it grows back. A set of ram's horns curls from her temples and back, and her hair kind of drifts and drapes across them. They are capped in silver, and it looks a little messy and almost painful. Um, she wears a lot of like dark black and brown leathers, but she has this very gentle, soft sweater, this white sweater, but a very, I don't want to say expensive, but definitely not common material. And then she kind of like worries it with her fingers. Um, she's covered in a lot of battle scars, and she's sort of hovering with a large longbow strapped to her back, and she's wherever she can be out of the way. She's kind of kicking her hooves together and sticking to the shadows a little bit.
And all of you, as you're gathered here, you can hear the muffled sounds of the Crimson Terror's roars, echoing even up from however deep these dungeons are. Some sort of battle is ensuing below. And your hope is that those warriors can at least weaken this dreadful, powerful creature before its inevitable escape. But for now, you sit and you wait. You are basically standing outside on what's called it's called the landing to the locals, but most of the rest of the continent calls it Crown's Peak. It's this huge mountain-like mesa that stretches up and then flattens out and has the actual kingdom itself literally above the little people. And this is where you looking around, it looks like some sort of battle happened up here. There was some sort of attack, some sort of battle, and then now there are guards running around everywhere. It's pretty bustling, pretty busy, but you're left to your own devices, standing here basically on the streets of this kingdom, just watching the castle itself to see if this dragon comes out of it.
So in that case, Gretel Gallowglass sees that there's not too much at the moment, really, that they can do. They're just kind of waiting for whatever happens. So Gretel is going to take the pack off of her back and set it on the ground and open it up. And you see her pull out just an enormous turkey leg and just start like chewing on it and gnawing on it. And she'll offer one to you as well, Thistle, and say, "Hey, not a lot we can do until that Crimson Terror comes out, so might as well enjoy ourselves." And she'll just keep chewing at the turkey leg.
This will delicately take it with like a claw hand, and then kind of will sigh and start gnawing away at it as well. And we'll kind of look at Thunk, like eyes wide, still mid bite, like, get over here.
Oh, you're muted, Bob.
That almost made it better.
Yeah. Oh,
Just motioning.
And Thunk will come over and be like, yeah, I'll take some of that.
Yeah, could be last meal, right? So it works best if you eat it like corn on the cob.
And he'll like take it to the side, be like,
Exactly.
There are, wherever Thistle is sitting or standing in relation to you all, it's like this tiny cylinder of natural chaos is just happening. Thistle is very calm and her muscles are very tense as she chews, but there are like flowers forcing their way out of the ground and like crawling on her arms and stuff, and she's just, this is fine. Like, staring off into the middle distance, like everything's cool.
Yeah, within a few seconds, Gretel definitely strips like all the flesh off of that turkey leg, and it's just kind of chomping down on the bone at this point. It's really kind of nauseating.
Thunk, having usually been, partial to vegetables and things like that, this is a brand new flavor for him, but one that may not sit right with him, so he'll only like eat a couple bites and be like, that was interesting, and like sort of set it down.
Oh, if you're not gonna finish that, Thunk, I can. There's no sense in wasting good food. I mean, it could be our last meal after all, right? If a dragon boy down there comes out of the castle. So can I you finished with that?
Absolutely, take it. That's great. Yeah.
She chomps down on that one too.
This will sprout some more. Every time there's a mention of it being a last meal, there's like another like poof of flowers that like pops up somewhere.
And you hear a loud rumble come from the direction of the castle itself, and there have been occasional rumbles, occasional sounds, but this one is consistent and it's not stopping. It's actually getting louder, and as you look over, you can see crashing. All eyes are brought over to the castle itself, and you see the bricks and the stones actually collapsing inward, collapsing down, almost collapsing into itself. You hear angry roars, soon drowned out by the crashing and colliding of rock and stone, and for a moment, the guards aren't running around the city. There are no more sounds of fighting. It is silent, as all eyes have turned to look at the castle. And then you see the rocks shift slightly and spray outward as one large red wing stretches out and grabs onto the brick on one side. The wing pushes out on the other side, stretches out, and you see an ancient red dragon bursting from the stone itself, roaring and snarling at the skies. Sunlight hits its face for the first time in over 100 years, and the wings stretch out at full length, which you imagine you probably couldn't do down there. This creature is massive, and he shakes rock and dust from himself as people begin to run and cower, and you just hear him growling and laughing and just looking around at everyone. What is your immediate reaction to this?
Sheer and instant terror.
Okay, that was Liz's reaction. What is this one?
Okay. Okay, Carrie. I'm gonna take the Venn diagram approach in which there's Thistle, and there's me, and then there's what's happening. It's so true that every time you say anything, I'm just fear. Thistle Thistle is essentially, this is the equivalent of Thistle seeing the creature from her nightmares emerging in the flesh before her. For a number of reasons, but mostly because if it can break free, it means not good things to the people that went down there in the first place. So the first thing she does is immediately start grabbing for the bow that's on her back, which has never been used.
Is that because it's new or because Thistle has literally never used a bow before?
Oh, there's a real answer. I'm gonna go with the funny one. You'll find out.
Oh, God. Yeah, Gretel does not have the wherewithal to notice any trepidation on the part of Thistle or Thunk or anyone else. Gretel gives a very loud belch and taps her stomach. All right. I guess it's showtime for us then, right? And she will also draw her bow and an arrow from the back of her pack.
Thunk, following the lead of these other red hunters, since he's just joined up here, he sort of runs over, grabs his bow, thinking that, okay, everybody's grabbing their bows. Sounds like I'm going to grab my bow, and he knocks an arrow.
You see people running and screaming now at this point, like guards running to take cover from this thing. And you hear this dragon as he is pulling himself out of the debris and shaking all of this rock and stone off of him. He's enjoying every moment of it. And you swear you hear him like taunting, like, yes, run for your lives while you still have them. Over and over. He's not attacking anybody. He's just enjoying tormenting them and making them think he's going to attack them as he's climbing out. Everyone make a perception check for me.
13.
21.
It's always me that never has the dice out. Every time. It's every time. Natural 20.
Nice.
Or 26.
So I would say Gretel probably just notices that this, it's no secret there was a battle happening down there. Like, this creature is pretty tired and pretty battle-worn at the moment. Thistle and Thunk, you're able to see many different wounds, many different, like, ripped-off scales. You're not sure how hurt, but this dragon is pretty weakened, I guess you could say. Rangers of the Red Hunt, please roll initiative for me.
Oh, this is not shaping up to be a good night. That's an 11.
18.
I have a 16, but I can add a +5 for being a Haragon with my hair trigger and add that to it. So I would have a 21.
Okay. Oh no. So, full disclosure, I have been rolling like garbage for 2 weeks. Everything that I've played, I've been rolling terribly. I had Dimitri pick out my dice today, my youngest little kitty, and he blessed them, and I just rolled a natural 20 on initiative.
Oh.
This is fine.
It's fine.
Totally fine.
Everything is
We've done this before,
fine.
guys. We've got this.
We are professionals, not accidents.
When we said before, yes, it's happened before.
I mean, it still counts as a kill for us, right? Even if the dragon flies directly into a mountain because it gets smoke, it still counts for us.
Everyone drawing their bows, you watch this creature climb out of the rubble. Take a look around. You see the wings have spread fully, and then you see the eyes moving over to see the edge of this cliff that you're on. Glances over to that and immediately heads that direction. You see him shake one more time, leap off, and begin flying. Thunk. What would you like to do?
So Thunk, seeing that his quarry has definitely like left the building here, he's gonna run over to the edge as well and just hit a section of his chest, and from his like a backpack on his back springs like it looks like the gliders in Return of the Jedi. They're like the Ewok gliders, because he has sort of fashioned this with like tree bows that sort of like have a spring to them, so that when he hits the button, the bows sort of like spring out and the leathers sort of catch the air that is coming off of this dragon, and he is in hot pursuit.
All right, is there any action you would like to take?
Yes, if I have, if he's within 90 feet of me, I'd like to cast Hunter's Mark on the dragon. Or is he already gone?
Let's see. Make a luck roll. Just roll a d20 and tell me what you get.
Oh, I rolled a 1.
Not quite in range then, but you do sprint over, hit that part of your chest. The glider opens up as you're like leaping off of the side, and you are beginning to glide after him. Thistle.
I'm going to crouch down, and all of this like satyr power concentrated in the light, slightly iridescent fur just like cracks the concrete. And this will take a mirthful leap into the air. And I think her glider is like a very practical, just very bare bones, like leather sails, like Spider-Man with the webs under his arms, very like discreet and small. But once she actually gets into the air, I think it shifts a little bit and starts to look a little bit more draconic. And then you can't tell if it's illusory or not.
Nice. And sprinting forward, leaping, do you have an action?
Can I try to cast Hunter's Mark?
Yeah, roll a d20 and see if you are quick enough.
Do not blow this for us. It blew it. Am I adding anything, or is it just
Nope.
the d20? It's
Nope,
a
just
3.
the d20. Yeah, you jump off. You kind of catch up with Thunk, but you're both just too far for that Hunter's Mark. This dragon is just with every beat of the wings getting further and further away.
Jail.
Gretel.
Gretel, as she sees that the dragon is flying away, she realizes, I can't hit it, so we'll stop drawing her bow. Takes one giant bite out of that turkey leg, throws it to the ground, stuffs her bow back onto her pack, and then gets down into position, like makes herself as like squat as physically possible, stepping from like one foot to the other foot, and then just sprints as fast as she can off the edge after the others, and pulls a drawstring on the front of her armor. And you see this woodland filth, grime, all of it kind of expand as it hits the air, and it turns into a kind of ghillie suit of sorts, but with wings. And so she, as she does that, will spin, turn, and hit a jet of air and says, "Showtime."
Fantastic. Do you have an action?
I do not think I have Hunter's Mark, so just for show, because she's the type, she will still shoot an arrow just because.
Sure.
Might as well. And that is a 29.
That will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
All right, so she pulls back an arrow as she does this spin in the air, pulls it looses it into the air. She says, "Showtime," and she's going to do 13 damage.
Nice. I'll say, Thistle and Thunk, you both look down, underneath you, because when, like, Gretel jumped first and then pulled to get kind of a lower glide happening, so you've got, like, the two of you higher in the air, Gretel a little bit lower, but you see Gretel come in with a spin and then just fire off that arrow, and you see it stab into, like, the hindquarters of this dragon as it's flying away. You see, like, a slight shudder. It's definitely not exhausted in, like, a technical term, but it's definitely tired from what it has gone through.
So is it safe to say that it is below its hit point maximum?
Yeah.
I can deal an additional 1d8.
Fuck yeah.
And guess what I rolled, baby?
An 8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have to get married.
I love it.
Okay, back up to the top. Flying, each beat of the wing getting further and further away, but you watch as after that arrow hits it from behind, you can see him glance back and notice the three of you just gliding after him. You see him hold out his wings to stop himself slightly, and he kind of like does a slight dip and spin, almost like you did, to face you as you're coming toward him. He makes one hard flap of his wings, breathes in deep, and just exhales flame. All of you, in your glider suits, please make a dexterity saving throw.
21. Not natural. 20.
I'm struggling with math so severely. 23. 23. Final answer.
I got an 18, but I have a reaction that I can use to bump that if I need it.
Okay, so full disclosure, you all failed your saving throw.
Oh, shit. I'm so sorry, everybody.
Out of 20.
So,
oh, no.
so is there anything you...
What? What?
Cry, plead for mercy, bag.
It is DC 24.
Jesus Christ.
I was so close.
So, that being said, unless you have anything crazy you can attempt, you're going to take 87 points of fire damage.
Wow!
I actually do have something I can use. So as it hits me with this burst of fire, which is technically, I will remind everyone, my character's fault for letting the dragon know that we were there and following. When a creature hits me with an attack, I can use my uncanny dodge ability. So I can see it coming. I know it's going to hit me, but I see it. And I immediately turn a wing in my ghillie suit and drop as far as I can. I'm only going to take half of that damage.
I think I can use this. Yes, I think so. I'm going to tell you what it does. This is a Horizon Walker feature called Spectral Defense. When you take damage from an attack, you can use your reaction to give yourself resistance to all of that attack's damage on this turn.
Yeah.
I'd like to do that one, Your Honor.
Great.
So 87 damage was that?
87 damage to Thunk. So probably we'll say, just for flavor, like Gretel dodged one direction and Thistle dodged the other direction.
And
So
Thunk
you're
was
kind
like,
of
"Where
like,
you guys go?"
What the fuck's this?
Oh no.
And then as soon as like it's done releasing that breath, you just see it like fall backwards, spin, and then it's used its full movement, but it is turning to continue in the direction it was heading. And Thunk, you are up, having just
Crispy.
taken 87 fire damage to your face.
I am
Your bunny
completely
ears are,
charged.
like, singed.
Everything is singed. It's like I'm just like it's like in the cartoons when the dynamite blows up in it's just all like the black soot all over him. And he's like, that wasn't nice. I'm gonna try and shoot him from here with my longbow.
Could you imagine if I was the kind of GM that was like, your bowstring is burned?
Burned, yeah. No, I protected that.
With my face.
With my face.
The Twilight Zone.
20.
The Dark Realms.
23 hits.
23 hits.
For 8 more damage to him. It's a little bit less than what he did to me.
Just a little.
And I'm gonna fly towards him again. Continue with him, like trying to keep up with him.
Sure. Do rangers only have 1 attack at this level?
2.
Oh no, we get 2 attacks
Yeah,
per
I
action.
forgot my second attack too. Yeah.
Oh heck yeah! So let's do another longbow for another 23. So that's good. For another 7 damage.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, so firing off 2 quick arrows, slams into, you see like you're targeting like one portion of the scales that seem to be like, it doesn't quite look burned off, but it looks like scraped off, almost like a road rash sort of thing. And you're like targeting that spot with both arrows. They stick in side by side, and you see like the shudder of the muscles as it tries to continue forward.
I'm also gonna, as a bonus action, cast Lightning Arrow.
Ooh, what does that do?
Next time I make a ranged weapon attack during the spell's duration, the weapon's ammunition, or the weapon itself, if it's a thrown weapon, transforms into a bolt of lightning.
Sweet. All right. What does that look like when you cast it, or is that more of like that'll be described when it works?
Yeah, when it hits.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, Thistle.
Okay. It's sure is showtime. So I am gonna use my shiny bow because I'm excited for this. So Thistle will take this bow, which she has never wielded before. It's a longbow, and it is made of this like pale shimmering wood, and gilded with like a platinum kind of metal. Maybe not actually platinum because it'd be absurdly expensive, but something that color, like this light white sort of metal. And there are dark, hungry thorns that curl off of like the grip and all along the wood of the bow. And as Thistle takes it and draws it and reaches for an arrow to knock, those thorns curve up and dig into her arm. And the bow, this is like cinematic, but no one can hear it because wind. But the bow whispers to Thistle as it digs in its thorns, "Swift defeat to my enemies." And Thistle, with tears building in her eyes, thinking about what she will have to do, whispers back, "Swift death to you who have wronged me." And then knocks an arrow and is gonna fire her bow twice. Okay, these are, I put too many d20s on my desk. Is it a bonus action to use your second attack, or is it 2 attacks in 1 action?
2 attacks,
attacks.
1 action.
Sick. I've never played a ranger. This is very scary. Okay, I don't think either of these hit. The first one is... What do I add to hit? Oh no. Oh no. Oh wait, I've declared it my sword enemy. I forgot. I have advantage. Ah, okay. The first one is a 20, but not natural. The second, ooh, the highest one's a 16.
Neither of those hit.
That's what I thought. That's what I was afraid you would say. Okay. Can I take a bonus action?
Yeah.
Cool. I am going to then use. Ooh. I'm gonna hide. I'm gonna vanish. This'll literally just through a cloud is gone.
Yeah, and as those arrows like flew towards this creature, you see it's not even like, because one of them was so close to hitting, so it's more of like you see rips in the wing. One of the wings has a huge rip all down it, and the arrow pierces some of that skin that's just like hanging, that's not really a part of him anymore. So the arrow like rips through that, but does not quite do enough to actually wound him further. And then you just kind of spin and pop into cover of a cloud for a moment. All right, Gretel, you are up.
Could I do two cantrips?
Technically not sure, but yeah, you can in mine.
Okay. Hell yeah. Then that is what I'm going to do. So I will forego hiding myself in order to try and be a badass.
Fantastic.
So
That's the way I play D&D.
Gretel is fucking pissed as hell that just took, fire to the fucking face. So Gretel will actually shout to Crimson Danger, or whatever the fuck he calls himself. And Gretel shouts, "Hey, motherfucker!" And I'm going to describe it as Gretel notching an arrow and loosing it, but what I'm really doing is casting Firebolt.
Before you do this,
okay,
make some kind of check, whatever you would like to make, whether it's like a survival or like an animal handling or any kind of like red hunt based check.
Okay. That is an unnatural 20.
Okay. As you are thinking about this spell and you're getting ready to cast this, you remember in just a split second, red dragons are immune to fire.
Shit. God damn it. Okay. All right. Do I still get to make my regular arrow attack?
Yeah. I was mostly telling you to see if like Gretel remembered that before doing that. So you still have that, and
yeah. All right, perfect. So you see the fire start to ignite in the palm of her hand as she draws back the arrow, and then she's like, "Fuck, this is a red dragon." And so you, if you're close to her, you'll even hear her say, "Fuck you, Dad. Fuck you, Dad." And she pulls the arrow and just looses an ordinary, regular arrow. And that is... Are you a 6 or are you a 9? 19?
As you fire off this arrow, you see it slam into scales and just bounce off. It doesn't appear to have pierced.
Can I make my second attack?
Yes.
Okay. Still just... It's your fault, Dad. Fuck you.
And I think there was like a moment of like, oh, you're throwing fire? I'm gonna throw fire. Well, fuck, I can't throw fire. That's not gonna do anything.
God damn it. 30.
30?
30.
Yeah, that hits.
Get his ass.
Yeah, like just so much pent up Oedipus complex. I don't know. She fucking looses that arrow. What do you mean it's not just dead? This is bullshit. 10.
10. You are doing some decent damage to this thing. Yeah, so the first one hit the scales and just ricocheted off, and you use that, even though you're gliding, even though you're moving, you use that to just adjust slightly and fire another one. This one slams into basically like where the wing connects to the body. Slams into that. You see the wing itself kind of falter for a moment. And this is the point where, like, usually you would probably be losing him by now. Because you are gliding. You're not able to keep height in these suits, but apparently he's not able to keep much height either with the rip in his wing. So you're kind of like gliding at almost the same level. Granted, occasionally there are harder flaps that kind of give him a little bit of an advantage, but he doesn't seem to be able to get away from you as quickly as he would if he had two fully functioning wings. All right, is that your turn?
Yes, that
Cool.
is.
All right, I'm gonna have all of you make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Is this a spell?
No.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure a past version of you asked me that question as well.
I'm always gonna ask. I always take any spell resistances I can. Dirty 20 for me.
I got a 21.
That is a 14.
Dunk is the only one that succeeds,
Shit!
with the DC of 21. Thistle and Gretel are frightened. You are frightened of this creature. As flapping these wings looks back and you see the red glowing eyes and you just see the black smoke coming from the mouth and the nostrils, and you just think of that fire breath and how maybe you shouldn't be so close to it the next time. And there's this like hesitation and this fear that takes over you. Mechanically, you are frightened for 1 minute. You can repeat the save at the end of your turn. Frightened means you can't willingly move closer to it. And attacks against it have disadvantage.
Okay. Shit.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
If I have
Pretty
abilities
sure
that
that's
give
all.
me just pretty sure. If I have abilities that give me advantage on my attacks,
Straight
like,
roll.
so I just get straight rolls now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. And it's gonna keep flying to try to gain some advantage on you now that you can't get closer to it. So you see after that just turns and it kind of like spins and kind of gets closer to the ground. You're still nowhere close to the ground yet, but ducks down just to get some more speed, to try to gain more distance between it and you. And Thunk, you're up.
Thunk
The only one
is
not frightened.
not frightened. He's like, what's the worst gonna happen? I'm just gonna die, right? Like,
Rabbits have 9 lives. Wait.
wait,
You've
hold
got
on
a bunch
second.
of brothers and sisters, like your mom and dad.
I've got
are gonna be
two.
back
I've got
cut
two
up.
lucky feet here. That's what I meant to say. I've got 2 lucky feet with me. So, he's gonna shift the glider so it sort of matches his thing, but he's also gonna take a shot with his longbow as he's doing it.
Sounds good.
14 does not hit.
It does not.
Okay, so even on a miss, he takes half damage of my lightning arrow.
Fantastic.
So the lightning arrow does come out, but it explodes like sort of right next to him and gives him sort of like shrapnel-y sparks that hit his side
Nice.
for half damage of 19.
Yeah, 9.
And then I'm going to take my second action, which is just a regular longbow.
Okay.
And that one hits for 24
Yeah. Roll that damage.
for 6 more damage.
Nice. Yeah, that first you fire them off so quickly. That first one, as soon as it's releasing, you're grabbing the other. And as soon as that arrow gets close enough, it turns into that lightning bolt and just explodes right beside the creature. You see it does take it to like the already injured wing. Kind of like tips it slightly in the air, kind of rocks, goes in for almost like a helicopter spin. And as it's spinning around, fire the other one. You get it directly in the neck. and you see it kind of like finishing that spin, leveling out, and is that your turn?
If I say yes, do we still have to fight it?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
But
Wait, I might have a bonus action here. Hold on. I wanted to use.
I will say you're probably close enough to Hunter's Market at this point.
I'll do it at first level.
Okay.
Cast
All right. Yeah, you cast that, and then still kind of like trying to level himself out, he's going to use a legendary action to then stop facing in your direction, and you see the one wing is very, very injured, but he still brings them both up and flaps them towards you, and this huge gust of wind slams into you. Thunk, I'm gonna have you please make a dexterity saving throw.
15, but I can add a d4 to that.
It won't help.
Shoot. Okay, then I won't use it.
This is interesting, and I feel like this always happens to Bob.
Oh no. No.
I'm getting
No, no,
thrown.
no, no, no.
I'm getting thrown, aren't I?
In every D&D game Bob plays with me, his character's thrown somewhere off into the distance. So I rolled maximum damage, first of all. So you're going to take 22 points of bludgeoning damage as this gust of wind slams into you. Immediately, it doesn't rip your glider in the sense of it's no longer functional, but the wind does hit so hard that there is a little tear in one of the wings itself, and it causes you to spin backwards. You are spinning quickly, like the little whatever those little helicopter leave thingies that fall. What are those called now? They're just called helicopters. I don't know.
Yeah, I used to call them helicopters too.
My cats love to play with them. Anyway, you're spinning quickly and backwards. And then we move on to Thistle.
Okay. I think thinking is not my strong suit actually. I have to make a choice between Hunter's Mark and Lightning Arrow. And I have been trying to make this choice for about 10 minutes.
I would say, Thunk, does your Hunter's Mark have any sort of appearance? Like when you cast it? Not like mechanically or anything, but like just for flavor.
Just for flavor?
Do your allies see anything when you cast it?
They probably see like a symbol that looks like kind of like an acorn that is like on his back.
Nice. And I would say that's probably something that's like exclusive to members of the Red Hunt, is like you can see each other's hunter's marks.
Okay.
So if you do decide to Hunter's Mark, please describe. Because you get like bonus damage for Hunter's Mark, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you would know like he is already marked for like tracking purposes, but if you wanted that extra damage, go for it.
Okay. I'm gonna do something silly and try to cast a spell with a DC that is abysmal. Because I think it would be really interesting if it works. So instead, I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Ensnaring Strike. So Thistle will just like Tom Cruise like appear out of a cloud. Bow already knocked, and will use the curve of their glider, which has been fastened to function similarly to dragon's wings. Will like the wings will snap out, and they'll use that moment of curve to loose their arrows, because there are two of those. The first one, I think it's just the first one that gets the spell, so I'll roll this separately.
Okay.
Okay, well, it's a 19 on the die, I have a plus 11 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
So, I'm just staring at it, willing the math to happen. So I don't know how you want to do this because I don't know how this goes with rangers. So the actual attack hits, but the dragon needs to do a strength saving throw to see if the spell takes place.
Yeah, so roll the damage for the arrow.
Okay. Okay.
And then I'll make that save for the spell.
So and then I just have to find out the strength saving throw. I'm at 21 damage right now. Piercing.
21 piercing damage. What is the save DC?
You're asking incredible questions. Just give me. Listen, I'm still learning.
I have 0 problems with.
It's 15. I found it.
That is amazing because I rolled a 14.
Yes.
Like I was looking at the bonus and I'm like, ugh, this is gonna be tough. I literally have to roll a 1, 2, 3, or 4, and I rolled a 4. So
it's
boom.
all coming together. Cool. So because it failed, it is now restrained. And it takes
Ooh.
it takes yeah, that's why I did it.
You're like, fuck this dragon.
I literally, this dragon has been haunting me for months. It's time. I will cast it at first level because I don't even think it deserves my higher spell slot right now.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's restrained, and I don't think it can fly if it's restrained. So
how much damage was that? Was that more damage or just restrained?
It takes 1d6 piercing at the start of its turn.
Okay.
I don't think it takes it
Keep
now.
that in mind because I will forget.
Okay.
We'll say for Gretel's turn, that is when the vines are like coming up out of this arrow and beginning to wrap around. So you're able to see this happening. We'll say it's not like fully restrained until the end of this combat round, just for flavor. So you see like it's a big creature, so you can see it like working its way around. What would you like to do, Gretel?
Okay, quick question. So can I use Cure Wounds on myself, or does it have to be on my companions?
It's a touch spell. It's
Yeah.
a touch spell. You could touch yourself and cure wounds.
Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking. So, seeing that we might have a couple of moments to kind of regain our footing, Gretel does not think that this dragon is down for the count indefinitely. Gretel is going to touch herself. She's going to pat herself on the back, and she is going to do that at the 3rd level. So I can. Okay, that's 9 back. That could have been so much better, but I'll take it. And then while it is incapacitated, she is going to use one of her attacks, just one of her ordinary bow, and arrow strikes on it.
Sure.
24.
24 hits. You guys are rolling excellent.
And then, as for damage. Okay, so she draws back her arrow after patting herself on the back, and she lets the arrow loose, and she's going to do 10 damage to it.
Nice.
And then as a reaction, I would like to vanish. So Gretel, as she sees that her mark was true and it hits this motherfucking red dragon, Gretel smiles and she vanishes.
And as soon as Gretel vanishes, the camera then sees Thunk like flying past it from the hit. Okay, so back up to the top of the round. First of all, it's his turn, so he takes damage, right?
Yeah, he takes 1d6 piercing damage.
Fantastic.
I definitely should have cast it higher, but I really didn't think it was going to work, so I'm going to just use my d6. That is 3 piercing damage.
All right, as these, you said they're like thorny vines, right?
Yeah, I imagine that the vines that already make up like the bow of the bow, that are now digging into Thistle's hands, compelling her to go after her sworn enemy. I think these vines then ensnare the arrow with her rage. And as the arrow flies and embeds into the dragon wherever it hits, they start to crawl and her anger festers.
Yeah, and that's what you like saw at the beginning of your turn, Gretel, was like it starting to stretch out, and now it is making its way up over like the shoulders, up around the wings. You can see it's trying to flap, trying to fight this, and you watch as Thistle probably lets out some sort of like battle cry, some sort of scream deep in the chest, in the throat, and with that, all of these like thorny vines flare, and you watch them finally like snap around the dragon and hold the wings to the body. You watch, there is a moment that happens, and the dragon immediately begins plummeting towards the ground.
Hell yeah. And this is Gretel's turn?
No, this is the end of your turn, like coming back up
turn.
to
Gotcha.
yeah. Where is the dragon's turn? I want Thistle to roll 9d6.
Okay. I'm not gonna ask you why, because I think the answer will scare me. I'm just gonna take out dice and do what you're telling me. You said 9?
Yeah.
29 total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, one escaped. This is the thief, the criminal. I told you. Did I say? I said 29.
29.
This was a 2, so 31.
Okay. Wait, one escaped.
This is why I use a tray, so I can organize them. They can't escape.
So, the vines snap around this dragon. Thunk probably finally levels out, but is a good... Basically, Gretel and Thistle are closer to the dragon than Thunk at this point, as he has just flung backwards from that attack. And then you watch the dragon fall. And whatever your intention may be, whether to like glide down to try to follow it, you watch it fall and just pick up speed as it is falling. And then you watch as it crashes into parts of the city below. You see storefronts smash as this giant creature slams into it, rolls, demolishes at least 2 buildings, and then lays in the rubble. But it's laying there, and you can see it moving, but that hurt it. That fall itself hurt it quite a bit. And Thunk, it is your turn. You only see Thistle in the air right now.
Oh, that's right. Thunk is gonna take a breath here and touch himself and sort of get his bearings back on things here. He seems good a time as any. And he's gonna get 20 points of healing back. So he's back to where he was just after getting toasted.
Seems as good a time as any.
I mean, I think we got it under control now, so I'm just gonna take a break here and
Touch
make myself feel better.
just a little bit of self-care, a little bit of self-love, you know.
I'm actually just rubbing
You're a fucking rabbit.
I'm rubbing my lucky rabbit's foot.
I'm sure you are. Mm-hmm.
Is that what they're calling it these days in the Red Hut?
The kids in their terms.
I quit.
We did it.
Do you know where
I
your
broke
children?
Carrie! Yay! Then as he levels out, he's gonna I think he's gonna try to glide back towards Thistle.
Okay.
And hopefully at that point I'm still within range to hit him with my longbow. From here.
I mean, yeah, technically. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So he's gonna
Oh no.
I rolled a 1, so that did not work well for Thunk. He is not doing well on his first hunt.
I think it's because of the little rip in the glider suit. Like, it's causing a, like when your tires, when you need to like rotate your tires and the car is like kind of like, it's kind of like that as you're gliding through. I say as a non-driver, like I literally don't drive. I don't know why I use that reference, but so you're not able to really line up a good shot, and you lost the arrow as soon as it left. You're not even sure where it ended up. Lost in the wind, probably. You're not sure.
Yeah.
But that is your turn.
It is.
Thistle.
Okay. So here's the idea.
Great. I already love this so much.
I could do a lot of things, but I feel like I just caused a large problem. So I'm gonna settle for a smaller problem, if possible. Let's see. Okay, I think I will lightning arrow. Oh wait, no. Wait, ensnaring strike is concentration, so it has not broken free. That's my fault. So I will maintain ensnaring strike, because that seems good. And I don't really have much that's not concentration, so I think I'm just gonna do a normal 2 shots off of my bow. The 28.
That will hit.
Nice. I realized I did not add my to hit bonus on the first strike I took because I'm still not used to D&D Beyond. That was my fault. We're never doing that again. Ooh. A natural 1 and a 2.
Ooh.
Can I use a luck point to fix this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that works.
Please be good.
It's got to be better than a natural 1 at least.
It's a 19. So, yeah, but not great.
Yeah, not quite. It's just landed in so much, like, there's now so much rubble and debris around it that it's kind of hard to make out its form. And you hear the arrow, like, shatter against rock.
Makes sense. The first one hit, though, right?
Yes.
Cool. So that's 18 total points of damage.
Nice.
I believe it's all piercing. And then can I bonus action? Oh, I should have done this before my attack. Never mind. I'll just do a different bonus action. I'll hide.
Okay. All right, and I will say, if you want to, I guess I'll leave it up to you. You can either stay in the air or you can touch down and like hide behind a building.
Ooh, you are giving me decisions. So where it landed is like a populated area, you said?
It seems to be like, yeah, like a street that has like storefronts all the way around it. So you are seeing some people. Most of them are running at this point and getting the fuck away from here, but yeah.
Has everyone else is still in the air, right? I don't think I can see Gretel. Gretel has disappeared to the shadows. Okay. Thunk is still in the air. I'm not gonna leave.
I am tumbling to the ground.
Oh, that's right. Really
Yes,
thought you caught yourself. That was my bad. I'm gonna dive after Thunk.
Okay.
Try and save his life.
Yeah, fair enough. Gretel, what would you like to do?
So I see Thistle go after Thunk to try and save him, and Gretel does a little bit of arithmetic in her brain and is like, "Yeah, like Thistle's probably got this, in hand. We're fine. We're fine. Thunk's gonna be fine. Nothing bad's gonna happen." And so Gretel is going to. This is entirely just for flavoring, but Gretel is going to try and close the distance between her and the dragon as quickly as possible by making herself as aerodynamic as possible. Like she's an arrow in the air. So I don't know if that looks like her Naruto running, but in air. But whatever it is that she does, she like pelts through the air like an arrow being shot from a bow. And when she's close enough, when she's in range, she's just gonna try and pop off 2 shots. And if she rolls high enough, she's gonna try and split the first arrow.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Time for me to do math.
Oh, hold on. Before you do that, make a wisdom saving throw. We'll see if you've beaten that frightened, because if not, you
Oh,
can't
that's
move.
right.
Yeah, you can't move closer.
Okay. And what do I add to it?
It's your wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Okay. 18.
You are not going to be able to move closer to
Shit.
this creature.
Can
You can
I
still attack it.
Okay.
But the attack will be at disadvantage unless you have something to give you advantage. Then it would be straight roll.
No, I
If
don't
he's
think.
restrained, does she get advantage because he's restrained? And then it makes it.
You know
I
what?
ha-
Let me grab my conditions thing real quick.
I also have an ability where technically it says if I have something grappled. Well, I guess I'm not the one grappling it, so that would be the plants.
Restrained, speed is 0. Attacks have advantage, so it's going to be a straight roll for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Shit.
Good call, Bob. Totally
Oof.
forgot about
Okay. All right. I've mostly been rolling well, so I rolled the same exact thing that I rolled the first time. Okay. Okay, so that is God, okay. 17 plus 13, is that 30?
that. That'll hit.
Okay. All right. So she's frightened, so she doesn't unfortunately do the cool Naruto run through the air, but she does let loose, and she is going to do 11, 12, 13 damage on her first one, and then on her second one, that is a dirty 20.
That does not hit.
Does not hit.
Does
Oh,
not
just goes
hit.
a little wide.
Yeah, just barely. You like hear that first one split scales, and the second one you hear instead the arrow itself splits as it hits stone right next to the creature. Damn. All right, is that your turn?
I believe so, because I am still invisible because I vanished. So
Awesome. Go ahead and make another wisdom save, because that's supposed to be at the end of your turn. Thistle, you can make one from your last turn as well.
19.
Okay. Wisdom saving throw?
DC is 21 wisdom save.
Oh.
Yeah. It's rough.
That's a toughie.
And I think that's its lowest DC.
Damn it.
Why? That's not
Ancient
gonna do it.
dragons,
It's a
man.
14.
Still frightened, but that's okay because you're veering over to head towards Thunk anyways. Okay, back to top of the round. It takes 1d6 for the vine thingies, right?
Well, that's a fat one. But let me see if I can. I think I have a thing that will let me relating to piercing damage. Okay. I will. This is technically only on my turn. But I want to ask anyway. So because I took the piercer feat, once per turn, when you hit a creature with an attack that deals piercing damage, you can re-roll one of the attack's damage dice and must use the new roll.
Yeah, I'll say go for it. Reroll.
Cool, thanks. The one really hurt my feelings. It's a 3. I'll take it.
Now, I'm gonna make a check to see if I can break out of these thingamajigs. Oh yeah, that's a natural 14, so 24. So you watch as you're veering over to head towards Thunk, and Gretel, as you fired these 2 arrows, you get a perfect view of suddenly the wings boosh, just bursting out. You see the vines like falling over, more rocks tumbling, and you just hear this angry roar. And this time, he doesn't seem to be focused on getting away. And he turns and is immediately looking for the 3 of you. You're invisible, correct?
I am.
Fantastic. Which means his attention moves directly towards Thistle and Thunk. Thunk is falling. Thistle is gliding smoothly down towards him. I will say you reach him, and as you're like moving to help him, both of you look over and you see the deep breath.
Oh no!
Don't do that. You don't want to do. Don't do that.
I'm gonna need you both to make a dexterity to swallow it. Make a dex save, please.
Okay.
26.
For real?
Yep.
Shit.
He's tumbling through the air so fucking fast.
Yeah, he's like taking us with him. Like we're just.
He's like,
I have a dirty 20.
Zigzagging.
I don't think that's
DC 24.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid you would say.
If you failed, you're gonna take 70 points
Oh shit.
of fire damage. If you succeeded, you take 35.
What
That's
was the fail
exactly
number
what I
again? I
have.
think I
70.
I blacked out.
The
Oh.
half is exactly what I have.
Oh!
Oh no. I have an idea.
I get on my knees and I cry and I beg Carrie.
Okay. Can I do one of my classic like crackpot list plans?
Sure.
Every episode I come up with something insane. And this is where it's happening.
Surprised it took you this long, honestly.
I was really trying. I'm really on like a chill arc. I'm trying to be normal in D&D. It's not working out. So the first thing I would like to do, so I don't perish, because I would have 1 HP left, and I don't agree with that. I'm gonna activate Spectral Defense as my reaction, because I have not taken it this round. So I take half of that.
35.
And you know, when life gives you lemons, can I, because I am grabbing onto Thunk to try and not let him splat on the ground and we're getting roasted, can I use that point of contact to cast Cure Wounds on Thunk?
I will say yes, but that's going to take away one of your actions on your turn.
I'm so okay with that. I would rather Thunk live. So
I like that. That sounds good.
I will cast Cure Wounds. You know what? Fuck it. 4th level. How do I cast spell slot? Yes. There we go.
How do I cast a spell slot?
How do I do the thing? And that gives you get 19 HP back.
So you have 19 hit points, and Thistle, you lost 35. Where does that put you? 35?
35.
So I'll say with that too, as you grab onto Thunk, and as this hits you, you both like basically torpedo down and slam into you slam onto the rooftop of one of the buildings, and that's like when you're casting the spell. Spell casts, and both of you like tumble off and fall down into the alley, like breath knocked out of you. And Gretel, you saw the whole thing.
Sick.
That is the dragon's turn, but you do see him, having seen your 2 friends fall between the alleys, or between the buildings, you can see him beginning to climb over the rubble towards that building, like out for blood now. Thunk, it is technically your turn.
I am going to vanish. As a bonus action, I'm going to vanish and hide.
I'll say, yeah, you're laying there, you can hear him crawling. You hear the the growl as he's breathing in and then the huff as he's breathing out, and you immediately like roll over to the other side of the alley, sit up probably by some sort of like pile of garbage or something, and kind of like almost like melt into it in a sense, like just gradually camouflaging into the wall itself. um Thistle, on that same note, what would you like to do?
Hmm. Okay. How far is the dragon?
You can't really tell. You hear it climbing over. Mechanically, I'd say, I mean, anywhere from 60 to 100, depending on what you want to do, and if it's cool, I'll let you do it.
Okay. I'm gonna pull out a classic from the back pocket. If it is within 60 feet, I would like to attempt to banish it.
Okay.
Really gotta pull out the classic one here, you know?
Sure. What do I do?
I need a charisma saving throw from you.
What is the DC?
It's a charisma saving throw of 15.
I have to roll a 1 or a 2.
Oh boy.
I rolled a natural 20.
No!
I was fearing that. Okay. I don't, because I gave up an action to heal Thunk. I think that's all I can do.
I think so. Unless you have a bonus action of some sort that you'd like to do.
What would I like to do it? Absolutely. But I don't think I can. A lot of my stuff is like a bonus action to change my attack action. That's most of my stuff. I don't think I can do anything.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Oh my god.
You like how I was just hesitating and waiting because I was like, there's gonna be something.
You've grown to know my patterns of thinking, and it makes me so happy. So I want to double check that this is correct, but I believe remember last time we had a weird thing with Misty Step where I thought I could teleport people and I can't. I think I'm actually allowed to do that now with the subclass that I have.
Nice.
But I want to make sure. I don't know where I would find that, but I'm trying my best to find it. I could be so wrong, and I would feel terrible for wasting time. So if you want to, I don't know if you want to move on or not.
We'll move on to Gretel's turn, and then I'll give you a chance to find that before the dragon's turn.
Okay.
Yeah. So Gretel, what would you like to do?
Does Gretel have a good read on whether or not this dragon is like 1 or 2 good hits away from being totally fucked?
Make an insight roll.
15?
You see a lot of wounds. You see blood actually like dripping onto the stone as it is walking. You're not sure if it's quite 1 or 2 hits, but it's gotta be so close.
Okay. In that case, Gretel was thinking about using a spell to shroud her and her companions to keep them safe from the dragon, but is like, fuck it. We are so close. If I fucking kill this thing, I don't have to get fucking married and bog deep. So Gretel is gonna, while the dragon presumably is still like distracted going after her friends.
Oh yeah.
Gretel is gonna attempt again to hit this motherfucker with her bow and arrow. 19.
19 does not hit.
Okay, she's got one more. Oh, this almost certainly. Okay. 28.
I'm gonna be mean and ask, was that with disadvantage?
Oh, no, it was not. Because I'm still afraid. No. Okay, it wasn't that much lower. Okay. That is uh 29. How was that
Twen-
higher?
But the other one was 23 or something, right?
Does anybody else remember what my first one was?
It hit.
It was close.
It definitely hit.
Okay, I think
28.
both hit.
Jenna says 28. Thanks, Jenna.
Okay.
Um,
So 28 and 29 were what I got.
yeah, and that does hit.
Okay. Hell yeah. Thank fucking God. Okay, so that's 16.
16. So that first arrow slams into the building. Your hands are shaking. You're like, I'm so close. I'm so close. I'm so close. And then you fire off that other one, and it slams right into basically underneath the wing into the rib cage. You see him react to it, kind of stumble, slip on the side of the building, glance over. We're gonna say you have the feeling that he knows a general area, and it seems to have been from the sound of the arrow firing.
Even though Gretel is invisible, she waves.
Flips him off.
Oh, yeah. Double bird.
Thistle, did you have that Misty Step thingy?
No.
No!
No. I'm just gonna hide. Gonna vanish.
Okay. Roll over to like the other side of the alley, disappear as well. You both see, as you're trying to hold so still, you both see the claws first come over the edge of the building, and then parts of the roof are actually being pulled up and off as it climbs over. You can see part of it cave in. Brick is crumbling down from just the weight of this creature standing on top of this building. Looks down, doesn't see you in the alleyway, but you see the nostrils flare as it sniffs. You imagine smelling you, hearing maybe your boot scuff against the dirt. Looks, smiles, and now I'm gonna roll to see if he gets his fire breath back.
Are we eating charred rabbit tonight?
And charred
Probably.
goat as well.
Does not get his fire breath back. So instead, there's this angry roar that comes out instead, and this just black smoke, and he is going to make one bite attack and 2 claw attacks. These are going to be at disadvantage because he cannot see you. Alright, so the bite. Math. A lot. 20-something for the bite. The claw. 21. Way more than that. Okay, so they're all 3 going to hit. I am going to roll 1, 2, or 3 is Thistle. 4, 5, and 6 is Thunk. The first one, the bite, is going to hit Thistle. The claw is going to hit Thunk. And the second claw is also going to hit Thunk. Oh. So, let me get some damage out here.
I just fixed him.
No.
No.
Oh.
The bite is going to deal 17 piercing damage.
Okay. Is this a new round? The dragon's the top of the round, right?
Dragon is the top of the round, yes.
Cool. I love this reaction so much. I'm gonna use that again to take resistance to that piercing damage.
Perfect. And you're also going to take 14 fire damage
Uh,
as you feel the teeth just searing into you. Now,
round up or round down?
down.
Okay, thank you.
Thunk, The first claw attack is going to be 16 points of slashing damage. The second is going to be 17 points of
And I'm
slashing
down.
damage. Slamming into you, you see Thunk's body like ragdoll down into like the center of the alleyway. That is the dragon's turn. Thunk, make a death save.
Yay! Death saves. That's a 7. 1 failure.
Fuck.
Thistle, you're up.
Oh boy. Okay, so how close is Thunk to me?
I would say not very far from you. 20 feet max, but there is a giant dragon standing
I was just about to say, there's a dragon in between us.
like in the space with you as well.
I was gonna do something stupid, but I don't have enough HP to do something stupid. So,
I got 2 more rolls left. That's cool.
Unless you
the
roll
first
one.
one being a failure was
That's true.
not as encouraging as I wanted it to be. I really am believing though. I'm gonna go for. What do you think? What do you guys think the odds is that Ensnaring Strike will work again? Probably not very good.
I have to
I
roll
will
a
do-
1, 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah, that's not great. Is Thunk within 10 feet of the dragon?
Yes.
I'm fine. I can't be responsible for his death. I need to be responsible for saving him. Okay, I'm so sorry. All of my backup plans are going out of the
Just so
window.
you know, Thunk would be okay because our only job was to kill this dragon.
I know, but like I'm attached to Thunk emotionally. He's just a cool guy.
You don't get to be a rabbit and then think that we're not going to be like, oh, he's cute.
I'm thinking about the ears. I have to save that.
They're drooping right now and very sad.
They're drooping and they're charred. They've had a really long day.
It's actually quite horrific.
Oh god.
It smells a little bit like chicken.
Oh god. That just processed.
You like snacks? Like, is your stomach rumbling a little bit?
Oh, that's fucked up.
That's awful. It's so terrible.
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
Horror writer.
Jesus. I will cast 3rd level Hail of Thorns
Ooh.
because Thunk is stuck within 5 feet or 10 feet.
We'll say 10.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll cast a 3rd level Hail of Thorns, and I will fire my arrows. So, Thistle, singed, battered, and yeah, I'm gonna go for the drama. Seeing Thunk's charred, sad body flopped in front of this dragon, those thorns on her bow kind of flare out more and then dig in deeper and crawl up her more. And her eyes, which I like to think were maybe just like a chill little light green, turn into this murky, dark purple. And she grows furious because not only is this thing her sworn enemy, which she was saving her bow to use, it is also her worst fear. I am frightened, so I don't know if this is going to go very well, but I'm going to see if this works. Wait, does this work? Oh, I have to hit. Okay. I was going to say, I don't know if it works if one of them hit, but let's see. The first one, you got a natural 20.
That'll do it. And that's crit damage. Oh. Good shit.
I'd like to thank the Academy. I'm gonna roll. Can I roll the damage for that one first so my brain
Please.
doesn't melt?
Yes. Yeah, roll that damage, double it.
Okay, so that's 23, and then the actual damage for the arrow. That's 10, 11, 42. 42 piercing damage. I cannot total it until you do a dexterity saving throw, Carrie, for the dragon.
Oh shit.
I'm realizing
Oh.
this. It's 8.
What's the DC?
I think it's 15. I think all of my DCs are 15.
I just made it.
Nar! Okay, well, it's still gonna take half, so it's fine. So that's 19
I'm on the
plus
edge of my seat.
25 piercing damage. Final answer. That's with the crit. That's my first attack. This is why I DM.
Thistle,
I'm sweating.
how would you like to kill this dragon? It
If I
just
could-
makes so much sense that it's you too. Like,
If I
Liz
could-
has quite literally been battling this dragon.
for months. It's been months. I've moved like twice in the process of this series. If I could take a lap, I would. I'm gonna. Okay, how do I want to do this? I'm like so stressed. Thistle will look up. Is Gretel visible right now?
Your choice.
It doesn't have a duration, but I think for the sake of flavoring, like this is the moment that Gretel makes herself visible again. It just like gives you a nod. Fucking kill it.
That's what I was looking for. Yes, we're same brain. So Thistle looks up and catches Gretel's eye, and they share this like nod. And will take their eyes like dripping with this horrible dark purple energy. They think in this moment of a moment of lightness with their sister Petunia, who is always stronger than Thistle, taller, who left a great shadow, hilarious and off the cuff and wild in every sense of the word. If the Feywild were immortal, it would be Thistle's older sister. Petunia, who went down into the castle to slay this dragon, and Petunia, who did not come back up, as far as Thistle knows. And so Thistle will take this bow, and the thorns dig in deeper with the promise of vengeance, and will let loose this feral scream as the energy of the Feywild that allows them to sort of slip between the realms and back imbues into this arrow and launches and pierces the dragon.
And as it pierces, you see the dragon like stumble over, slam into the side of the other building, and then immediately the wings coming up, the dragon grabbing on, trying to climb up over the building. You see it does manage to like pull itself up onto one of the other buildings, take a couple more like dragging steps over, and then tumble off and crash into the street with a loud rumble. And then everything falls completely silent. We are out of combat. What would all of you like to do?
Gretel lands finally and takes a couple of steps forward, her hands on her hips. She looks at Thunk, who is burned and ears floppy, looks real fucked up, presumably having failed at least one death saving throw, and sees Thistle with her purple eyes. And Gretel like nods like, yeah, And she reaches into the back of her pack and pulls out another chicken leg or turkey leg. Just takes a big bite of it. Good job.
This will get this little broken thanks. Very, very tired. I think as this sort of, because her favorite enemy is fallen, the darkness kind of vanishes from her eyes, and she looks around as if she's seeing the world for the first time. and those thorns unravel, but they still leave behind the little pock marks of like where they were embedded. Um, and her like blood that's running down her arm, like the bow drinks it up and whispers to her in Elven, "Your debt has been paid." Um, and she looks at it and she straps it back onto her back, and she'll go over to Thunk and cure wounds again. I only have a third level. I'm sorry. But I will third level cure wounds. And while Thunk is breathing again, I'm gonna kind of wander off to the side and kneel and put my hands down to the ground and just cry. And where Thistle's crying, a bunch of bright pink, healthy petunias start to pop up
Oh,
and grow around her.
that's wonderful. There's like this really beautiful moment of all of these flowers growing up around, the camera's pulling back, and then Thunk sits straight up, after having been healed.
Thistle has accepted that this is their life now. Regardless of if our characters go separate paths, I think at Thistle's head we're all sticking together because what else is there to do? So she will after that, wherever we are in the distant future, the first thing she's gonna do is go to Gretel, and kind of just give her a smile and like a proud squeeze of the shoulder. Be like, "So the wedding's off, huh?"
Gretel looks at you and says, "Well, I'm not the one who killed it, so I think technically my father wins this bet, so I might have to go back to Bog Deep for a while and get married, do my solemn duties as Lady of Bog Deep, so unfortunately, I don't think I won this one."
And Carrie, due to movie magic, can we say that I took a tooth from the dragon?
Yeah.
Cool. I don't know how big it is. It's probably giant.
It's probably pretty big, yeah.
I'm thinking like shark teeth, and then it dawned on me. I will, however we're dragging and or carrying this tooth, I will pass that apparatus to Gretel. I think we all saw you kill it.
Gretel smiles at you, and as you're talking, will take out her short sword and just stab it into the head of the dragon. Be like, "Yeah, that's what we all saw for sure, for sure."
Mm-hmm. And then this will kind of hang back over to forward over to Thunk, and will kind of just pat him on the shoulder, but then a little line of flowers goes up to Thunk's head, and like little flower crown sprouts, and Thistle's not going to say a word.
Thunk has no recollection of how it got killed. So in his mind, he still doesn't know how we killed another dragon.
It's true.
He's going back to studying his dragon slaying for dummies, and he's going to continue in the red hunt, but he really doesn't know how he's doing this.
Those lucky rabbit feet, man.
Yes, that's it.
Thistle will take one of the petunias that she cried into existence, a way to put that, and just kind of like clasp it and then tuck it behind her ear, so her sister is with her.
And Gretel will still travel back to Bog Deep, however briefly, to let her father know that she has killed another dragon. And she arrives in the swamplands of Bog Deep. She kicks in the throne room door and spreads her arms wide and says, "I am Gretel McGowan McGuffin McGriddle Gallowgas of Bog Deep, and I belong to no man, father."
No, this is the part of the one shot where I did not plan for an entangle spell, and things are about to get really fun. That's what
I've
part of the one shot we're
I've been
on.
trying to entangle this goddamn dragon for like 3 sessions now, and it finally worked. And it was when I took the spell as a joke. How long did it take for you to be able to say that without tripping up?
Well, I actually practiced doing a Scottish accent today in the shower, and
Nice.
I discovered that I cannot do a Scottish accent to save me damn life. So I just decided to talk like this the whole time.
That was beautiful. Thank
Amazing.
you. That made my day.
That was wonderful.
It's awesome.
Oh, there he goes.
Oh,
Oh, hey, buddy.
oh my goodness.
That's awesome.
This is Dimitri's world. We just live in it.
Yeah.
So cute. Oh my goodness.